rebuilt my throne. Zany let my kingdom, yeah, my true home. Well, hello all. It's Zantavius, and I'm so excited to introduce Zantaverse, the podcast. Think of it more of a conversation between me, someone else, and you. I want you to feel accepted. I want you to feel part of this experience and to be involved in these topics and discussion. Today, we have a special guest with us today. Is King Rahmil. He is a film professional as well as a voice actor, and he'll be going over some things with me and having a deep conversation. So you guys tune in, but let's welcome King Rahmil.
Hey, you guys, what's up, Zany World and Zany Universe? Like you said, my name is King Rahmil, and I'm a film professional, media creative, voice actor, creative person all around. And Atlanta gets to be my playground where I can exercise all these abilities. And so that's how me and Zantavius connected. And as you guys will see, you know what I'm saying? We might got more magic coming. So nice to meet you guys. I'm King Rahmil. Let's get this ball rolling.
Yes, so we have a lot of great things to talk about. So how's your day going?
Today is going smooth, man. Like today is going smooth. It's been some weird times, trying to stay creative in these weird economic and social times. But I guess we're just pushing through day by day. But I'm in a good space. What about you, man?
So hold on. So as far as weird, tell me about weird. Elaborate on that for a bit.
Weird times, like the weird times that we're in. So I feel like we're in a bit of a transition as a country, like I feel like, new leadership and like new policies, and there just feels like there's this new energy that's like kind of spreading through people now. You know what I'm saying? I guess with we don't have to get too political, but with all the political activity that's going on right now and that how it affects social change, I feel like right now it's like the best time to take that risk or like start that dream or quit that job or whatever big move or decision you want to make. I feel like now's the time because it's kind of like a transition like period in the culture. So I think that's why it feels weird to me.
Yeah, that's very interesting you said that. Especially the part about quit that job because I remember, I quit a nursing job back in 2021. It was literally right after COVID, but I was so stressed out and burnt out that I just decided to quit and I go to Africa. And so, like, literally, I
Okay,
hit up
Dave
some flight
Chappelle.
attendants. Right. I hit up some flight attendants. I was like, look, I'm literally ready to go on a trip. I need a vacay. I need a getaway because all that stress, these COVID patients, this sickness, and these deaths, and these everything that's happening that's lowering my energy and just causing me to be stressed out. I just need to release. And so like resetting and actually turning in that badge felt amazing. Going through that security and just phew, putting it on the desktop and being like, look, you had me for these months. You ain't got me no more. It is what it is.
Right.
Bye, deuces.
Deuces.
And that's what I did. I took the flight and I got back to Atlanta and literally I packed my bags and me and some flight attendants went to Africa. We went to South Africa, exactly, Johannesburg. We stayed there for a week. Amazing. And that's honestly how I got my reset. And that's honestly how I was like, okay, it's time to push. Let's do your dreams. Let's focus because you're seeing all these deaths. You're seeing all this bad stuff and all this stuff. Like, let's bring back the good vibes, the good energy, the what makes you happy. Because taking care of people makes me happy, but it's to an extreme, and seeing all these people die and stuff, it really took a toll on me. So like I was just like, look, I just gotta push through. And so that led me to where I am now as
Yeah,
far as
yeah.
doing music, as far as books and everything that I'm doing. So that's funny you said quit a job and just risk it, because that's exactly what I did at that
Yeah,
time.
like I feel like now it's like the time where people are becoming more entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Like now, like everybody, can't own their own business, but everybody's kind of seeing themselves as their own entity or,
Very much so.
because I guess with AI kind of like shoring up the job market, people are realizing like, okay, I need to make some adjustments
Yeah.
or, I need to make some realignments. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that, if you're watching this and you've been ruminating on this is your sign. Take that risk,
Yeah.
quit that job or apply for that job. Whatever decision that you're scared to make, go ahead and do it because the second half of 2025 is wide open.
Yeah.
So, and I think that, it being that kind of indecisiveness opens for creativity.
Yeah. So what got you started? Tell me about your start, your intro. Like what got you going?
So, man, let's take it all the way back to when I was a little kid watching
Mhm.
Pixar movies.
Okay.
So, for all the real ones out there, Toy Story is probably the reason why I'm still here right now. You know what I mean? As a little kid, man, I just got enamored with storytelling through Pixar, and I used to read a lot of books.
Okay.
So Pixar and books is what introduced me to wanting to become a storyteller professionally. I didn't know whether I was going to be an author first, because people used to say, "Oh, you can write really well" and stuff like that. And so I was like, "Okay, do I want to be an author first, or?" And then when I saw Rush Hour with Chris Tucker, I was like, no, I want to do movies. I want to
Mm,
do movies. Like, so Chris Tucker is actually the one that made me want to become an actor.
yeah.
And so Pixar, Rush Hour, those kind of entertainment movies and stuff like that got me into like that storytelling mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I got inspired
Yes.
from like watching all those movies and actors and stuff like that. So that's what kind of drove me and got me interested in film. And
S-
yeah, just
Storytelling.
storytelling. Yeah.
Tell me more about that though. Like I do feel like it's very, very important to tell a story in everything that you do, because it hits differently. But what about storytelling that really, really got you like literally like I got to do acting. I have to do this. Like, what is it about storytelling that makes you feel or makes based on your experience make somebody else feel?
So I think that the theme and the execution. So
Okay.
themes,
Okay.
the theme could be puberty.
Mm-hmm.
The theme could be self-consciousness. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? These are very human elements and very human themes, and the
Okay.
execution of it. So the execution, like, because no idea has not been done before,
Yeah.
right? So they say, right?
Yeah.
But how you do this idea and how you execute this vision is how you make your unique stamp.
Sure.
And so, like, for like with Rush Hour, for example, like that's not the first buddy cop action film, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But the way that they told her their unique peculiarities, or like when Chris brings his comedic flavor to the character and stuff like that, these little creative details help make it stand out and make yours yours. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So for me, it's the themes and the execution that makes storytelling so powerful. Cause if you can have me like a 9, 10 years old about to cry at
Uh-huh.
like a film, that's powerful storytelling.
That's good.
So yes, sir.
Very interesting. Okay. Interesting. So if you were to create a story at this time, what would that be and why?
Just like a story in the
Mic
world.
drop. Just a yeah.
If I was to create a story right now on the spot, oh my goodness. Well, the story, I think I want to write a story about Atlanta, but I want to use Atlanta as like this jungle with animals. And so, who would be the tigers? Who would be like the gorillas? Like
Lion, tigers, and bears.
the lions, tigers, and bears. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see Atlanta as its own story, just how it operates in itself.
So you think it's a jungle,
I think it's a
Atlanta?
jungle.
Yeah.
Like I've always referred to Atlanta as like a jungle, and I'm a tiger, by the way. And I feel like we got a whole bunch of animals in the zoo of Atlanta, in the jungle of Atlanta, and we all just kind of make this work our own kind of way. Like it's such a combination of different cultures and different walks of life in Atlanta, so that's why it kind of feels like a jungle.
But what specifically causes it to be like a jungle? Like,
Because
is
it's
it chaotic?
crazy.
It's
It's
chaotic?
chaotic and it's wild. Like
Yeah.
living in. So for those of y'all who are not from Atlanta or who have never been, Atlanta is a city of hustle and bustle, and we have a college campus right in the middle of the city. So when I was going to college downtown, it felt like there was always like a robbery, or there was always like an event, or there was always like there's always activity. There's never a dull
Mhm.
moment. There's never a relaxed moment. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like, and then the jungle part comes from honestly, you know, people around here acting like animals. Like you might have to run from somebody if somebody's running after you, you know what I'm saying, in Atlanta. Like, don't go here after this time. You know what I'm saying? Like these are very real things. And so that's why I guess the metaphor of jungle came out. It's kind of like, this is like a place where you have to be on alert and really watch your back.
Okay. Interesting you said that, everybody has their input about Atlanta.
But what's your favorite thing about the city? What would you say?
I,
Like,
I I would say my favorite thing about the city, like you said, it is a hustle and bustle type of situation. I do feel like it is a lot of hustle, but it's also a lot of opportunity to grow as far as the entertainment industry. I do feel like this is like a Black Hollywood to me, to be honest. But I do see a lot of young entrepreneurs. They're really, really making it here, based on what they do, and so it's a lot of small businesses. It's a lot of my friends from California that are Indian or whatsoever, they come here and they get a business here because it's cheaper. So again, I do feel like it's a come up, it's a hustle. I just feel like it's a lot of people kind of doing the same thing, so it's like competition. So I feel like people might be looking at you up and down, trying to figure you out and trying to, it
yeah,
might be some type of copying, it might be some type of, jealousy or whatsoever. But I mean, that comes with the territory. I hate to say that, but it does. But I feel like there's no individuality 100%. I just feel like there could be more individuality. Um and it could be more coming together and actually supporting each other rather than a dog eat dog world.
Mhm.
Especially with the music industry, I feel like it's a lot of artists here that they just come here from different states and they just want to pop in Atlanta or blow up in Atlanta because Atlanta's known for, putting artists on. And I mean, a lot of big artists are from Atlanta. But I don't feel as if you know, there's like teamwork or actual collaboration or actual appreciation of the arts. Is more so like, oh, you do this, okay, well, this person over here do it better, so let me go with them. Or, oh, this person over here has more followers, so I'm pretty sure they got plugged in with this, so da 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 da. When it all could be a stunt, to be honest, because a lot of people around the area, they be stunting. They might not be having all them followers and
Yeah,
all that
Atlanta
stuff.
is the king of flexing. The
It's a
flexing
flex. You
capital.
hustling, bustling, and so hey, you put yourself out there in the best means possible. And some people just, they're just not real, but they'll portray like a certain character, on the internet.
Yeah.
I
So
realized that a lot.
so would you say like Atlanta is a world unto itself? And so I would say like with what you've created with Zany World,
Uh
you
huh.
created your own world in response to the world. So like
Correct.
kind of like run us through like that kind of the origins of that idea and kind of what sparked that concept of Zany World.
So Zany World is more so of my visualization of this universe. And so it's my creative space. So it's where I hop into my mind and I'm actually free and I'm open and all the opportunities are there. Everybody's so free spirited and free flowing and everything is just frequency. It's just going and just vibrating at all type of angles. And so it's more so like my getaway. It
Mhm.
really is. It's,
Mhm.
it's really my getaway. And so I created Zany World, and it's kind of hard for me to explain because it's all, in my head, but I'm creating it to a reality. But literally, the work that I put into Zany World is actually coming into real life. That's the exciting thing about it. But it's all about me just tying in those passions, dreams, childlike behavior, trauma, magic, creativity, everything combined all into one on how I see a perfect world, a perfect universe. And that's what I see Zany World. And so when I focus on music, when I focus on books, when I focus on courses, when I focus on me, I focus on how would I portray this with Zany World? How can I elevate this with Zany World? How can I bring more people into Zany World? Like, how would Zany World present itself? So all the music that I've been putting out by far, all the music
Mhm.
videos, all the anime, everything, it's in relation to Zany World. It's my creativity. It's what's going on in my mind. Like even right now, I got like a whole chapter written for my next book talking about Zany World. Talking about the sky and the lights and what I see and the people smiling and everything. Like it's to the point where I'm just like, this is how I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna create a human from Zany World. I'm gonna bring that human into this real life, and that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be,
Magical.
and that's what I make, and that's what I'm making happen. And so, like you said, all magical. So yeah, it's happening. So I
That's a
can't
deep origin
I can't
story.
really explain too much about Zany World. I just want to give little bits and pieces of it for people to understand. But I will say follow this conversation, you'll understand Zany World a lot more in detail. We'll go into pieces of it. But I don't want to give you everything right now. But just know that Zany World is a big part of my life. And it's a free space to where everybody feels invited. Everybody can be their true, authentic self. There's no hiding, no judgment, no nothing. It's just you being free flowing, being in this life and being present in this life and enjoying your life and being the best that you can be and your higher self that you can be, the best version of yourself.
So as two creatives, we're both artists. Like we both like are in the arts, obviously, and like we both perform and stuff. And so like for me personally, I know that some days, we're human at the end of the day too, right? And so some days you don't have that energy. You
Hmm.
might not have that creative juice. So what do you do, if anything, to like bring that back? You know what I'm saying? If you're like not in it that day, or if you're just not feeling inspired, or even if you have like a case of writer's block, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Is there something that you tap into to help re-inspire or reinvigorate your creative muscle?
So I go back to why I started. So what I do is I specifically go in the mirror. I go in the bathroom or I just look in the mirror and I do a mirror ritual. I look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself, okay, this is the version of you that's presenting to you, but how can you present yourself as your higher self? So what I do is like literally I look at myself in my eyes and I just literally don't blink. I stare at myself about a good 20 seconds. My eyes are gazing because your eyes want to blink after certain seconds. But my vision is very, very blurred and tunnel. But I also see different versions of me when I look in that mirror, because with your vision, it's fine-tuning all that quality, all of that one person is starting to turn into
Oh.
different dimensions of yourself. And so I look into the mirror and I'm looking at different versions of myself and I look and I figure out, okay, are you the happy version? Are you the creative version? Are you the mad version? Are you the jealous version? Or what are you? And so I decipher between every different version of myself, and I come to the realization that I'm still me. At the end of the day,
He said, "I'm still him."
I'm still me. I'm still everything about me is still there. And at the end of the day, I still have my back. If nobody else is there by me, I still have me. So how can I make myself happy? How can I be the better? How can I be the higher self than I was yesterday?
Mhm.
And so I do that mirror ritual and I just give myself positive affirmations. You're important, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're creative. And I leave it at that. I leave the mirror. I don't look back at the mirror. I leave the mirror. I take that energy with me and then I meditate. I meditate for about 15 minutes and I just get in tune. I listen to a frequency and I get in tune. I literally get in tune to the beat, to the frequency. And I just, from there, after I meditate, I work out and I push forward towards that day. Whatever creative idea, whatever creative juice comes into mind, I write it on my notes on my phone and then I elaborate on it later. So
Got
that's how
you.
I created the book. That's how I create the album. That's how I create the anime. Literally, all that stuff come into my head because I realize who I am. I realize that there's different versions of me, but at the end of the day, it's still one me. And so if I'm not gonna do it for me, then who's gonna do it?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
We both meditate, and I think meditation is a great practice to I started meditating uh really in like 2018, 2019.
yeah.
And I can kind of like tangibly see the benefits that it's had on my emotional reactions to things, like just my overall temperament and mood.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that that's a great piece of advice for anybody, just not even if you're just an artist or anything, but just in life. If you're overwhelmed, a good reset. Like I have an app called Simple Habit. It's free from the App Store. You know what I'm saying? And like they have plenty of free sessions that you can use. You can pay for it too if you want to, obviously. But do 5 minutes. Me personally, before I even look at my phone for the morning or for the day, I try to sit there with my thoughts and my spirit and quietness first. You know what I mean? To try to, because once you open your phone, then you're in the world for
Yeah.
the day. Then I'm in the metaverse and whatnot. But I think before you open your phone, just have a few minutes with yourself and God, whoever you believe that to be. And I think that's a good reset, a good set for the day. Because staying creative isn't easy. Staying creative isn't easy, and staying at that energetic pace is not easy. So recentering yourself is definitely important.
Yeah, and you made a good point too, as far as staying creative is not easy, but it's also the process that's so beautiful. People don't appreciate the process. You have to understand the process. You have to understand that the process is what makes it beautiful. Is what it shows your hard work and your progression, and it shows your emotions and your commitment and everything towards whatever you're doing. So appreciate the process because when you reach that final goal, how are you gonna feel? Or do you have another goal?
Yeah,
How would you are
exactly.
you is it complete? Is it over? Is that idea done with after you complete it? I would say everybody should always think above and beyond. So once you finish this goal, you have this on top of this goal to accomplish. But realize that you're present, you're human. Appreciate the process. Okay, I gotta book this. I gotta go through this. I gotta look like this. I gotta get makeup done for this. I gotta do this. Enjoy it. Enjoy the whole process because that's going to create more ideas and it's going to generate more creativity.
Hmm.
And the next time you do that, you'll advance, you'll evolve from where you was before. So it's all a stepping stone, you know what I mean? So that whole process is just beautiful. When I'm writing music, when I'm creating music, it's a whole process.
What would you call that process? Like, do you have a name for it? Like, is this the Z scheme? The like,
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I think we should name this kind of process that you have to get all this creative output that you got, because like you have a very in depth, very intentional process,
Mhm.
very intentional.
Mhm.
And I think that people listening to this are going to take this and receive this very strongly. So,
Very. They
like,
should.
the Z path, the Z way, like I think there's a way you can market this artistic routine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, cause me personally, like I'll just say with voiceover, I'm pretty simple. I need like a glass of water, and I just need a glass. I need some water, and I kind of just do a little bit of like some breathing exercises before. Really simple preparation when I do voiceover and stuff like that. But um, we need to have you like branded with that processor.
I
Like,
would say with the writing, it comes natural. So for me, it comes natural. It just depends on how I feel. So I would say it's just a superpower that that I do. I feel like in
hmm
my past life I was a pharaoh. In my past life I also was a writer, and I had all kind of mystic secrets and stuff in a different universe that that was needed. That's why all this stuff comes to me easily. Dancing, writing music, creating music, listening to sounds, being a certain way, knowing how to filter, knowing how to adapt to any situation. It all comes naturally. And then I'm addicted to the Egyptian culture and just
yeah, yeah,
pyramids and
facts.
all that magic. And so I know I was a co-creator of something related
You
to
need to
that
get
in
you a
my
cat.
past life. You know what
You
I
gotta get you a
mean?
cat. Finish
Yeah, I
finish
mean,
off the.
hey, I'm not against cats. I mean, I've always had dogs as far as when I was younger, but I'm not against cats at all. And then, cats, they always stop and stare at me. So, hey, I have that
You be
connection
having
with
energy.
them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, cause in the
Yeah.
Egyptian culture, cats were very, very revered, and so it's like, a friend of mine has a cat, and I was over there the other day, and they do like, animals are really good at reading energy and spirits and things like that. And so, if an animal responds positively to you, especially a cat, cats don't like nobody. Cats bougie as hell.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good sign that your energy is in the right place.
Yeah, cats are very, very interesting. I mean, all animals to me are very interesting in their own separate
What's
way.
your spirit animal?
Uh, honestly, I don't know. Because I used to say a zebra, I used to say a horse, I used to say a tiger. But to be honest, right now at this time, I would say a monkey.
A monkey?
Hmm.
And what makes you say monkey?
Well, that's my Chinese symbol. So that's my Chinese
Okay.
symbol for October, anyways. But I just relate to it, like how they hang from different trees and they go hopping around and then they just do free flowing and they just doing their thing. That's how I am. I hop
True that. Yeah.
topic to topic. I do
Okay.
all kind of different stuff. I'm very explorations and like I don't know. I'm very curious, and like if I was a monkey right now and a human was down there, I would jump on top of that human's head and try to figure out, okay, this a human, this is hair, oh, this is skin, oh, this,
He think he's slick because you
yeah,
said monkey and then you said curious, and you know what I
yeah.
thought about?
Curious George,
Curious George.
yeah.
I was
I
like,
used to
he think
enjoy
he's slick.
Curious
He was like monkey then
George.
curious. I was like, I see where you're going. I see the play.
I enjoy Curious Joy. Yeah, that was a really good cartoon as
So you're feeling
well.
like Bubbles right now. We're feeling Bubbles from like Mike's monkey. You remember Bubbles? Michael Jackson's monkey.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I didn't get something like that.
He was like Bubbles. Like who the fuck is
Yeah, I was
Bubbles?
like, who's Bubbles? Bubbles?
Bubbles the monkey, which I
Yeah.
actually heard Bubbles was strong enough to knock somebody out with a slap.
I believe it. I
So
believe it. So
And did you also hear that Michael Jackson wanted to have a human brain implanted in him? Did you hear about this?
well, no, I didn't hear about that, and he's one of my idols, so
Yeah, so it's like maybe you're the brain that he put it.
I mean, hey, I could be a reincarnation of
A
him. He
reincarnation
might
of
be in
Michael
my soul,
Jackson.
you just don't know. Hey.
S-
Ooh.
So like I would say right now there's in the music industry, do you feel like there's space for something new? Like I feel like the industry is waiting on something new. I feel like we're at a time where like we were talking about yesterday with your engineer, and we were saying like right now the rap industry, the music industry, it's in an interesting spot. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because like, are we at a standstill? And if we are, does that mean that we're waiting on something? And are we what we've been waiting for?
I feel,
Like there's a jolt. There's something missing. There's something fresh that somebody needs to put into this culture.
I feel that music nowadays is very, it's not what it was back in the day. It doesn't really have a story. It doesn't really relate to others as much anymore. I feel like it's all about money. It's all about, um you know, local, not even local talent. It's about just limited talent. People that don't really have much talent, but they're pushing them because they have popularity. I do feel like people are going back to the 2000s or either the 1960s and they bring back old music. Like, why are the clubs and all the bars and lounges playing at 90s nonstop? I go most of these bars and hookah stuff and whatever I go to, literally they play 90s or 80s music nonstop, maybe 2000s, but that's it. They don't play the new age music, and it's a reason for all that. Like literally, I just don't think that music is hitting like it used to. I really don't, and I just feel like it can be more. I just feel like the story it can be more. If people put their all and their heart into it, and they just put their emotions behind it and be real and authentic, it could be a beautiful thing. But until then, I mean, most of the music lovers or the people that are actually appreciate music and craft, they're gonna just go back to the old music. I mean, I know I do. I always go
Mm-hmm.
back to the old tunes and
Mm-hmm.
listen because I mean, I can't really relate to a lot of the new stuff now. It's like it's crunk, it's dancey at the moment. That's it. But what do I remember from it? And so that's why, like, I feel like now it needs to be more of like a new age oldies type of situation. So somebody that's bringing back old school stuff as well as making it new age and new, adapting to this trend, and that's how I elaborate my music. That's how I put my music out there. I just go based off of the old folks I used to hang with.
Back in the
They
day.
used to play their old
Right.
school music, that Al Green and Marvin Gaye and
Come
all
on
of
now, you better
them,
start talking about
and
it.
Motown and stuff. And so it's just like I want I love that type of music. It made you feel. You can listen to the story, you can listen to their voice, and you can feel the emotion and feel what they went through. Like you were there, like, oh, she cheated on me. You feel like she cheated on you, and you didn't know relationship with her. You don't know what's going on. But that's the type of story, that's what hits,
Hmm.
and that's what you appreciate. And later on, you realize when you get older, like, oh my gosh, he was talking about this the whole time. Wow,
Yeah,
this is magic. Wow, you appreciate it more.
you do.
And
Yeah.
that's how I feel like music should be nowadays. And that's how every piece of what I put out is all about a story. And it's all bringing back the old time vibes, but also in a new school way.
A true artiste.
Hmm.
So the storytelling is the main thing you feel like is lacking from today's products. It's just
Anybody can hop on a beat and just say something,
Mhm.
listen to it. Anybody can do that. How you want to interpret it is how you interpret it. It could be a hit. It might not be a hit. It might just be gibberish. Might just be mumbling, but they did it. But how can you get the person to actually listen to it and actually
Connect with it, right?
attract to it
Yeah.
and want to like listen to it again and again and again and
And
again
again.
and
And
again?
again.
Because statistics show that a person got to listen to a song at least 7 times for it to stick with them.
Stick in that loop.
But if I'm giving you a story and you're going through the same situation or you've been through that situation, it's going to stick to you quicker.
I was gonna say it might take only 2 listens or maybe 1. Maybe 1, especially if it's like you said, like like we were talking about just the other day, the emotional state that you're in when you hear the music affects how quickly and how strongly it impacts you.
True. That's so true. And it's so like, even going to record it, it's just like, you have to feel it. Like that's why I like the neon lights in the studio when I record. I like having my shades on. And I like being to myself, to be honest. I don't like to have a crowd of people in the studio with me
Mhm.
because I want to actually get into it, be immersed into the experience, and actually give the best of me and the most vulnerable part of me that I feel like people can relate to. Like I'm gonna put out stuff that people are scared to put out. I'm gonna say stuff that people might be scared to talk about.
Just being vulnerable.
Just being very vulnerable. And I learned that when I was, working at the hospital. All these doctors and everybody coming up to me. Oh, I love your song, Chicken Head. Hope you were Chicken Head. And I'm like, oh, really?
In the nursing
And the nursing, and it's just
thing,
like
yeah,
these
I was
are
like,
surgeons and these are big time doctors. I'm like, yeah, they Chicken Head. Ho.
so
I've
were
seen the
y'all like
dance.
pushing a injured person and it was just like, I like that song Chicken Head, ho.
They literally, and it'd be at the randomest times. I can be taking the patient's vital signs in there, talking to a patient about education or something, and they pop up. Oh, Zan, I heard this. Oh, and I'm like, oh, should we talk about this?
He's over here like arbing on somebody's heart. And,
And I'm just like,
the blood
what?
squirts up. And
But
he's
that
like,
lets me
whatever.
know that when people felt that way, for them to go ahead and talk about that, they don't care about the situation I got going on right now as far as handling the patient. They want to present that, let me know that they see me,
I
they
felt
hear me,
something.
and they
Right.
felt that.
Yeah.
And you sitting right here thinking like, oh, it's all professional. Let me be clean. Let me be filtered. Let me do this. But they don't care about that. They want you to be real, authentically you.
Mhm.
They want you to say stuff that they probably can't say. Even though I'm in the healthcare field too, but I'm doing it how I want to do it, and I'm being authentically me. And that's what they respect and they appreciate. So obviously, the Chicken Head made them feel some type of way. So obviously, I did a great job with putting Chicken Head out there. And obviously, I might need to go ahead and do a remix of Chicken Head because at this point, yeah. And I mean, hey, Chicken Head got me first place here in Atlanta.
It did.
And it sent me to coast, and I was top 20 out of 280 artists.
Okay, pure.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow. And that song was on the radio, and it actually got like over 30,000 views on Spotify. And I'm
did,
just like,
yeah.
yo, like.
Maybe we should remix that.
And the funny thing about it, I made the song because I was mad at this individual, and I was sitting in the parking lot at McDonald's. How Chicken Head came up, I don't know, but evidently some chickens and burgers and all that stuff popped up while I was at McDonald's, and the whole concept popped up, and it turned into
But
a
you
whole
were pissed
reality.
off at somebody.
And I'm a dancer, so I was just like, oh, this got a hot beat to it. I'm gonna make a whole funny
Yeah.
routine. The challenge started a challenge. Even got a Chicken Head challenge. Shout out to the Chicken Head contestant that won. Like Marcus, you killed it. He's in Virginia. I want you to be listening to this and seeing this because I'm shouting you out. But like literally, yes, he won the Chicken Head challenge, the dance challenge, and it was really, really, really like a fun challenge. Having all those contestants send me their videos and compete, and I gotta do that again. I gotta do an international Chicken Head challenge. I got to. Like, Yeah, but literally that's what I'm saying, like, you don't know when you're gonna come up with some of the hot hits or, songs that really impact people and cause people to really cause a stir. So, that's the magic with creating, That's the magic with creating and just putting yourself out there, you know?
That's I think that, but putting yourself out there is not easy. Like that's it's because it's like, what do I put out there? What do I keep and what do I share? So how do you determine, like, do you just share? You don't share everything. So what are the biggest determinants in, like,
So, it's all dependent on you. So, it's all dependent on you. So, it's more so what do you wanna put out right now, what you don't wanna put out, how do you feel? You don't worry about what other people say or feel because that's not your business. You gotta be you. You gotta put you out there. So if it's authentically you and it's how you feeling right now at that time, put it out there. Put it out there. You would never know when you're ready. You would never know when
that's a good
you
point.
you would
Yeah.
you just would never know point blank period. So you really really just got to put it out there and be yourself at all times and just be authentically you. If those artists didn't put out the craft that they put out, we would have never had hits. You know what I mean? If Beyonce didn't put out Sasha Fierce, we wouldn't have had Sasha Fierce. You just put
What
that
an
out.
era.
You just put it out. Really. You really just put it out and be authentically you at all times.
And just whatever sticks.
If it's you and you put your 100% into it and you put emotion behind it and you make people feel, then that's it.
What
It's
song were
gonna
you
tell for itself.
what song were you nervous to put out, if any?
I would say, even starting off, you're gonna be nervous. But as far as songs, the first two mixtapes I put out, I was a little skeptical about because it's like you're just starting music, so you don't know exactly what to do, how you want to roll out things, how you want marketing to be, how you want to, present yourself. And so I would say those first two definitely, but after I start putting out, music constantly, it became natural. You know what I mean? For me, it's not about putting out music. For me, it's about did I tell my story?
Mhm.
Did my story relate? Like, is this a relatable situation? Is it truly authentically me at this moment? Because right now you can get a sad Zan. Tomorrow you can get a happy Zan. But how I was feeling at that time, like,
It
did
was
I present
authentic,
it?
right, yeah.
Exactly. And so that's why, like, I as far as a rollout with putting out music, I put it out how I want to put it out, and I'm very strategic with how I put certain stuff out. But it has to be related to my situation that I got going on right now.
Gotcha.
You know, it has to be related to the situation that I got going on right now. Um, so yeah, so I put out how I put out 100% feelings me. It's gonna be authentically me. It's gonna be everything. So I'm not scared to put anything out. To be
He said,
honest,
"I ain't never scared."
no,
Like Bone Crusher.
no, never. I'm not afraid. What am I afraid of?
Exactly.
Of myself?
Some people are,
My
I guess,
potential?
for some people, afraid of other people's opinions. That's really the fear,
But
right?
you do realize a person is a reflection of you, basically. You know what I mean? So if you're focused on somebody else thinking about what they're thinking about you, these people ain't thinking about you. These people got other stuff going on. To be honest, they do. But
Life is too
again,
much, right?
but people are a reflection of you. So you do realize, like, when you go into this universe and you get about good energy and you're happy and you're free flowing, that's the type of energy you're gonna get back. You're gonna get some negative too, but it's up to you to change that situation and still remain positive, happy, and just be a reflection of you. And so I find that it doesn't matter what somebody else think. It doesn't matter what they say or how they. It's you.
Mhm.
So you with these fear and this doubt, it's all you. It's all your shadows. It's all you put it onto
Mhm.
yourself. So switch that around. Present that fear and the doubt and those shadows in front of you and face them. Okay, I have fear over here. All right, fear, I'm gonna fire you. Doubt. Okay, I'm gonna divide that doubt. Not even gonna deal with that. Boom. Move it to the side. It's there. I'm aware of it, but I'm not gonna entertain it. I'm not giving my energy into that because I already gave energy by acknowledging it. I'm moving past it now. I'm not trying to hide it or, oh, I'm gonna hide it in the back.
You're not trying to
Da,
let
da,
it
da, da,
consume you
da.
either.
No, that's why I acknowledged it and I accepted it so
Mhm.
I can move past it and put it behind
Behind
me.
you. Yep.
Because when I'm pushing, I'm going elevating, it's still there behind me, but it's not, it's only like a 10% of me.
That's a good topic. Like, what's the whole theme of that seems to be a huge theme that a lot of us struggle with in general, is just moving on from the past or accepting. with accepting the things that happen, dealing with that, and then moving forward. Now, as much as we hear this process, what did that look like for you?
I move forward. Like the past, again, accept it and acknowledge it. If I didn't accept my past and I've been trying to hide it, I'm gonna write it down on a piece of paper and look at how small it is. When I write it down on a piece of paper, I see how small it is and I look at it from different perspectives. How would Michael Jackson look at this situation? How would Bill Cosby look at this situation? How would Beyonce look at this situation? How would the different version of Zantavius 10 years from now look at this situation?
Mm,
How did that Zantavius deal with this situation? How would my little child self, my inner child, look at this situation? I get every different perspective and I see how small that situation is on a piece of paper. And I come up with solutions. I come up with answers and I push through. I keep pushing because I don't let that, the past is part of you. You're supposed to go through that. It's a test. It's
mm.
not meant to take you it's not meant for you to bring it with you everywhere you go. It's a part of you, but you gotta keep pushing forward. Because if you didn't go through that past situation, you wouldn't be the present person that you are today.
Got you.
So, trauma, all that stuff, it's a part of you. Accept it. It was a test, and you might not understand it at that time, but it was meant for you to go through, and it made you a stronger person. You're still here.
True that. True
You
that.
learning from it.
Yeah.
And then literally what you're going through, somebody else could be going through. You can be like a mentor or somebody, iconic to help change somebody else's life because they've been through the same situation you've been through.
You know, one of the best quotes I ever heard was from Tupac. And remember that quote that he had where he was like, I might not change the world, but I'm going to spark the mind of the person that's going to change the world. And I feel like that's such a powerful quote because I feel like most people don't feel like it's going to be them. You know what I'm saying? Some people know that it's them and that they're the what's the word I'm looking for? Like when God sends you to come help people, like what's the name for that person? A disciple or a messenger, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're ordained by God to send and impart these messages onto people. I feel like that's a powerful mindset to be in. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I get that from what you have going on too. It's almost like what we get, it's like I'm not in control of this, y'all. Like I'm getting this energy from another force. And I'm just a conduit.
Michael Jackson, he said, as far as music, he didn't write music. Music came to him and he's a vessel. It came from people higher ups. It came from
Yeah.
the higher ups and it was already established, the beat, the sound, the music, the lyrics, and he's just a vessel and it just comes out of him. So when he performs, that's how he performs. And that's similar to me as well, for sure, because it just the energy frequency, it flows. That's why I say I was born plenty of times. This is not my first life. I have
What life is this? Number
I have
five?
plenty 77. I have
77.
yes, this is 77th life. I have plenty of past lives, but like it all comes natural to me. So when he's saying that it's coming from higher ups, I think what he meant was it's coming from the universe because he's already been exposed to it. So it's just recollecting and recalling that memory and bringing it back down to him. And he's just presenting it in his modern day style as much as possible right now. And so, again, I just feel like it's part of the past life. And like, he was the vessel to show off everything that came from the higher ups.
Do you remember the first time you saw him? Like as a kid, do you remember the first time you saw Michael
I would
Jackson?
say on television performing, yeah,
Do you remember like what he was doing?
just dancing.
And so
The
from that
main
moment,
thing I remember is dancing, moonwalk, and glove. That's all I
dancing,
remember.
moonwalk, in the glove.
Yeah.
So like the first time I remember being conscious of Michael Jackson in my whole life was I walked downstairs and I think my mom had the Billie Jean video playing, right? On TV. And like you, it was the glove. And so I'm like, this dude, like, and it was the moonwalk and the glove. And so that inspired me that year. 10-year-old me, I'm dressing up as Billie Jean, Michael Jackson for Halloween. And I got like my glove, my Jerry curl wig, and everything like that, the whole getup. And I'm like, I think similar to what we're building here, like with what you have with Zany World, is like what we were talking about with his Neverland Ranch. Like he had an escape from reality. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he was kind of creating this world. And so I see a lot of that similarity between like
You
your ideas
have
and
to.
you do to kind
You
of stay
have
sane,
to.
right?
You have to because you have to get into your creative mind. So you are executing your creativity and being you and living this life. But you also have to get into your mind and control your mind. And so in order to control your mind, you have to stay in your creative space. So whatever way you got to be creative, be it. So that Neverland was his way of being creative. And he also didn't get to live that childlike.
Yeah, he didn't have a
childhood.
childhood, really.
So
Yeah,
literally, he was on the road as a child. So he's executing that, and he's being that childlike person that he always wanted to be. But also, when you're around kids and you see that they don't have that logical thinking until they're like 7 years old. So the first 7 years of their life, they're just they taking in information. They asking all kind of crazy questions, all kind of magical stuff. They're talking to an invisible person,
yeah.
but that stuff is actually real when you think about it because they honestly could be talking to spirits. They could be talking to things that we're not seeing or what we choose not to see or what we choose not to think or what we choose not to hear. They're magical. So pulling back that magical creativity from a child, it helps you tap back into your creativity and be a creator and create
It
more
does. I be telling
magic.
people your childlike
Literally.
creativity. Like that's why, like sometimes, like even when I'm sad or I'm feeling down or something like that, you know what helps me? Like I'll watch something, a cartoon from my childhood, or I'll listen to a soundtrack from like The Lion King, or I'll go watch something, and still all these years later, those feelings still run through your body.
Exactly, exactly. And it's always great. Like everybody has their inner child. Everybody's been through something as a child. You have to remember that. You have to hold on to that inner child and actually appreciate that inner child as much as possible. Because what you don't realize, that inner child's still gonna be with you at all times.
They never go away,
It
huh?
never goes away. When you have kids, you're going to be treating your kids based on how you was treated and that inner child inside of you. Even if you don't have kids, you're going to do something in relation to kids, whether it's daycare, whether
Yeah,
it's
your
teacher,
nieces and
whether
nephews.
it's
Yep, yep.
nursing. You're going to be dealing with kids regardless. And so it's just like you having that creativity and that magic from them is just beautiful. And it helps you tap into a magical side of you. That's like when you go to the trampoline places with the kids. You get on the trampoline and you act like a big kid too,
Yeah,
because it brings that childlike behavior out of you. And hanging around those kids, it just amplifies that creativity and that magic and that creative thinking, and you see that life was not
the excitement,
limited
the
by
excitement. Yeah,
bills or anything. It was more
yes.
so exciting because they didn't have nothing to worry about. They were just kids. They just did whatever. They were
And
just innocent and just curious with life.
exactly. We was younger. We'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to be grown." And I remember my grandma was like, "No, watch. When you get old, you're gonna wish you was a kid again." And then I'm like,
Yeah.
I find myself listening to her words again in my ear, and I'm like, she was definitely right. Like, I think a big thing about what we do is like just artists and creatives is literally we have to maintain our inner child.
Yes.
That's how we make our art. You know what I'm saying? Like the same energy that like motivated me to have all the energy to create all those short films that we wrote and all those skits and all those creative juices that I got inspired with the stuff I was watching as a kid. You have to keep that in you. And it took me going through like, a little bit of like, heartbreak, depression, these adult things that we go through. And then
Which is the most beautiful. I'm stopping you right there. That's most beautiful. They're the most beautiful and vulnerable parts. And anytime you feel like you're scared to show it, don't be, because somebody else needs to see that. The trauma, the hurt, domestic violence, the sadness, everything. It is beautiful. Embrace it. You went through that situation, okay, but look at where you at now. Present it in a way like Cardi B said. Even if you have something going on and you just don't know how to express it, write it in the song, write a poem about it, write it in your notes. You're gonna feel so much better. And that's honestly how we get most of the beautiful music.
that's
Think of Mary
true.
J.
Mary
Anytime
J.
she had heartbreak, Keisha Cole, anytime they have
Yeah,
heartbreak, they
yeah.
make some of the best hits.
Hmm.
If they don't have no heartbreak, if they don't have no type of nothing going on, it's kind of like,
People make
meh.
jokes and be like, "Can you get to a relationship and get hurt again?"
And because it really hits people, and that's how people are really feeling. People are scared to express that. So with them expressing that, it helps amplify that feeling and really accept it and move past it. It really, really does. So like that trauma, that sadness, that everything. It's beautiful.
Is there a
It's
particular
magic.
is there a particular song or songs that you like relied on that helped you get through those sad periods?
I would say it's been a very vast amount of songs that help me for sure. Um, but I can say as far as music right now, where I'm at right now with things, I would say the artist that I'm leaning more towards and the songs that I'm leaning more towards right now is still Al Green. I'm
Oh,
still feeling some Al Green 100%, all his older stuff. Like
he's timeless though. He's timeless, man.
And that's what I'm saying. Timeless music back then, it just hits differently. And even disco, when I listen to disco, it just makes me get in a happy mood to where I want to do my pop hits and really, really go above and beyond with my pop hits and actually focus on theme songs for Zany World. It just helped amplify some things. So I would say definitely like Al Green right now,
Mhm.
specifically. As far as male, as far as female, I would say
Ooh, can I guess?
Billie Eilish.
Oh, I was not gonna guess Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I
I
would
was
say
not gonna
Billie
guess Billie Eilish.
Eilish.
You know what? Like, I've heard maybe 2 or 3 songs from her. Her fans love her. Like, I apparently um she's definitely one of the biggest artists in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard about her a couple years ago. I heard what's the song that I do know? What's the song that I know by her? What's her biggest hit? If you could sing it.
I don't know, you tell me.
I don't
She got a
know.
lot. All her
Okay.
stuff to me are hits, so
Okay. Well, just that being said, so those songs are what help you. So for me, like I had a Stevie Wonder phase. So
okay.
like I had like when I was going through like my mental and emotional challenges, Stevie Wonder's Golden Period helped me out a lot.
Mhm.
So the like those Inner Visions, is that name of the album? Inner Visions. And that one where if it's magic, it can be everlasting. That album.
Okay.
Those two albums from Stevie. And female, I ain't gonna lie. I was listening to a lot of Patty, a
Okay.
lot of Patty, and what's my girl? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on her name right now? Anita, Miss Baker, Miss Baker, and I think Mariah. Well, like three I was listening to at the time. And that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Similar to your point,
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is about like that old school music, but maybe it was the process
Mhm.
back then. You had to like season it and then slow cook it. You know what I'm saying? And let it sit in there. Now it's like we got a
Yeah.
lot of microwave and a lot of,
True. They didn't
so
have to add any extra because they were it.
ooh.
They
So,
presented the story. They presented everything. They were authentically them. They didn't have to add all these ad libs and stuff like that. If they did, it was emotion, crying, screaming, hollering, simple stuff.
yeah.
That's what's If you're listening to sound by itself is already a whole situation. But if you have like lyrics on top of that, it's supposed to amplify that sound a little bit more and make it a whole situation. And if you're adding ad libs on top of that, them ad libs really, really got to stand out.
They
You
do.
know what I
They
mean?
do.
And so you don't need to do too much because nowadays with music and technology, the sound by itself, the beat by itself can tell the story. But if you can add that extra layer as far as lyrics and then add that extra ad libs, simple ad libs,
Hmm.
it can become a whole masterpiece, a whole situation, something completely different from what you thought. Completely.
Do you find like in your experience, like we were talking about, what actually winds up happening is better than what you envisioned?
Yes. Yes. If you don't put, that's why I tell everybody don't plan anything. Don't plan anything. Have a structure and have a layout, but don't plan specifically. This is how I got to do this and this and that. Have a
Because you're gonna run into
structure,
the
but
disappointment.
have exactly. If you have a plan and it doesn't go the way you need it to go, that's like a vacation. If you have all these plans on these
Right.
days and it don't go, let's say that you can't get on a hot air balloon because of the weather. That's gonna mess up your plans. Oh, what am I gonna do for these 3 hours? I
Now
paid for
your
this. Da,
mood
da,
is,
da. What am I
yeah.
gonna?
Right.
And your mood is down. You're not being present. That you're still out of the country or you're still on vacation enjoying yourself and you still have company with you. Do something else to alternate, to switch it around. But if you have a structure and it doesn't go that way, oh great. Well, let's go to an alternative. Let's do
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
You still
Exactly.
exploring, you're still present. That's why I tell everybody be present. Be present in any situation, any conversation, anything that you got going on, be present because it means something.
It does. It
It means
does.
something. Like just being present just means something, period. And having a structure is great because you go with the flow with things. You go with the flow. When I create anything, have a structure, but I'm not going to go exactly how I exactly pinpoint because it's not going to go like that.
And most of the things that we wanted to fall in love with, what do we hear? That was improvised, or that
Hmm.
wasn't even planned.
Yep.
And so that's why I tell people, like, people trying to like chat GPT all these scripts, and I'm like, you can do that as like your guide, but anybody with experience knows that once you get in the field, once you actually get out there and start doing the principal photography, that's where the magic has to happen.
I look at it
Because
like a test.
yeah, yeah,
Literally, you're going to take a test. You study the book. You think in the healthcare world, if it says The stethoscope is black, and you can listen to your bowel sounds and breath sounds, and or you can yeah, basically you can listen to those and hear some abnormal breath sounds or bowel sounds from it. It's not gonna be a question saying a stethoscope is black. You can hear da da da.
Mhm.
No, it's gonna be like you have a patient that's right here
Can
breathing
you
like this.
apply
How
this?
can you apply this information? It's
Yep.
all about applying.
Yes.
Literally, it's not. So again, it's not about being pinpoint with the plan. It's about structure. This is the guide. Study the guide. Know the information. Adapt to it, and then apply it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, and that's with anything that you do.
In life, I was gonna say that's applicable across every skill.
Even with a dance routine. You can learn these steps, have it to the hardcore, but if somebody mess up on stage, you better know how to improvise. Apply, improvise, and get back to it.
Have you ever had to improvise?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I had like a whole random performance I didn't know I was doing that I had to like just
How
suit
did
up,
that how
suit
did that
up and
come
boot
together?
up.
Tell us about that a little
It
bit.
was in Florida. I did not know I had to do a whole performance, a whole situation, and literally I went out there and just did it. I didn't question.
Oh, the recent thing. The recent.
Oh, no, this wasn't recent. This was
Okay,
years
okay,
ago.
okay. My bad.
Literally, I just had to do it. I ain't think nothing about it. I ain't let anxiety get to me. I just did it. I applied. I literally went by previous. Okay, well, this is what I did previously, or this is what I did wrong last time. So let me not do this. This is my guide on what not to do and how to execute things, the energy I need to give. Let me apply it and adapt it.
Is there any better feeling than not knowing how some shit is gonna go and then it goes way better than you expected? Is that not is there any better feeling than that? Or just when you don't know how it's gonna go and it goes off well. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
creativity.
and that but I think that that's the impulse that we're talking about. Like that's, that extra force that got into you that time. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
that's creativity
You
for
guys have
sure.
seen, again, movie nerd, cartoon nerd. You've seen Soul from Pixar,
Hmm.
with Jamie Foxx. That theme of him, like, you remember that scene where he's literally getting lost in his creative, like when he starts playing the piano, and then they have like this animation where he like literally just gets lost in his music. He gets lost in his mind. Like, I feel like that's the zone you enter, and I feel like that's the zone you have to enter when you want to make something that's, like you said, is gonna impact people like Al Green is impacting you generations from now. Like we want to make art that's like 30 years from now, when they look at King Rahmil and they hear a narration that I did, or they see a voiceover job that I did, or an acting job that I did, or something that even we collaborated on. You know what I'm saying? Anything that we got going on, it's it's does it strike an emotional chord with you? You know what I'm saying? Like when people my age that are almost 30 and they want their kids to watch the same cartoons that they did, why? Emotional chord. So these people, I want my kids to listen to Zantavius. Why? I gotta pass down this good game. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Al Green's music lives on forever because it's timeless, and I guess that's the peak of storytelling.
Hmm. It's all about
How do you know
storytelling.
you made something that's? I guess what's the test for knowing that you made something great? Is it just merely off what people? Do you have to only believe that it's great for it to be great?
You won't know. The only way you would know is if you put it out there. Just put it out there. Just put it out there. If you're happy with it, and if you did it, and you put your all to it, 100%, it's already great as is. You're great. You have to treat it like that. If you put it out there, you're like, oh, it's okay, then that's the energy that's gonna flow towards it. Oh, it's okay song. But if you put it out there 100% and you know it's great and you claiming it great, you did it.
That's the
It's great in your eyes because you presented it, and it might be the greatest work you've done. Somebody else might critique and be like, "This the worst they've ever heard." But it's what you've done. So it's great to you. That's all that matters. And if you can execute that greatness in everything, that great song, you turn into a great video. That great video, you turn into a book. That great book, you turn into a whole series. It's you. That's
hmm
what makes it great. So if you present it great and you are 100% into it and you know in your heart that it's great because it's yours and you realize that you're great, that's all that
that's the
matters.
energetic return. Like
That's all that
when you put that
matters.
energy into it, and when you
That's all
put
that
that belief
matters.
into it, it comes back to you.
You don't need nobody else to tell you your song is great, your song is trash, your song is this. That's like you somebody else telling you how to live. Oh, you can breathe. Oh, you can go poop.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you can go
like
pee. No, this is your life.
yeah, yeah.
You created this. They don't know the sacrifice. They don't know your story. It's been a lot of stuff that people been putting out. People talk junk about it, but later on they love it. They hate it so much that they love it. because it's telling the story and it's true and it's 100% them.
Yeah. So as an artist, can you differentiate when you hear somebody, like, let's say if there's an artist and they're trying to get your opinion on their music,
Mhm.
can you tell the difference between when an artist is being themselves and when they're trying to be something else?
So you will only go based off of experience with that artist. So if you have an artist and you've been around them for a while and you kind of got a feeling of how they are, you can bring that up, but it's still up to the artist.
It is.
Yeah, because one thing about it, we don't know if the artist is being themselves or not because it could be a whole switch up in the vibe.
It could.
You might have one
Yeah.
day where you good, you go to a spiritual retreat, next thing you know, your whole life changed the next day, and you don't you rapping or singing some different. Everybody go through phases. We're meant to evolve. We're not meant
Hmm.
to stay the same. So I might have 10 years of just doing gospel. Then who knows? After 10 years, I go do
You do
African.
gospel?
I would. I'll do anything that I feel.
Do you
Whatever I
have
feel.
gospel music out right now?
I have a song "Pray and Get Paid" that's similar to it, and I can
Pray and
work.
get paid?
I can work with a choir and make it happen like very
Okay.
gossipy. Actually, I had a gospel artist that wanted to hop on it. She
Is
wanted to
it,
do a
it
remix.
is it what they call secular?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm.
You hopping on Kanye's Sunday service next? Like you doing
Hey, Kanye might want to hop on "Pray and Get Paid." I'm telling you, the
Oh,
song it hits.
at this point,
It hits.
so like you would do genres, like all different types of genres. Like you don't have any country music currently,
Yeah,
do
I
you?
don't want to limit myself to anything.
You doing country music? I want to hear that for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. So I would say, as far as country, like, I'm not opposed to it. I feel like it will be a collaboration with another artist for sure, but I definitely can tune to
Shabuzi,
it.
let's get it.
Or Carrie Underwood,
Carrie Underwood.
yeah, I
Carrie
like her a
Underwood.
lot.
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah,
Do you know who Toby Keith is?
yeah.
Do you like Toby Keith?
Oh yeah, he's straight.
So, who's that guy? Sweet Home Alabama. Who's that? You know that song, Sweet Home Alabama? Who? Leonard. That might be him. No, I was thinking about somebody else. Ooh, ooh. But okay, yeah, country. So it's like if you're in the mood, you do it with the right situation.
Mhm.
Okay, and I feel like rock and roll is easy for you. Like I feel like you would.
Oh yeah, I would murder some rock and roll.
Like
Rock and roll might be a whole album.
I feel
Actually,
like I was going to say. I think I kind of
but I
want to
would
hear
do
that.
it in a Prince type of way.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it in a Prince type of way. And Bon Jovi, and yeah, I'll actually mix up some stuff. Yeah, it'll be interesting actually. Huh.
Oh,
I mean, hey, I got a bass
I didn't gave him a
guitar,
seed.
and I love this bass guitar, and like I love that crazy wildness. I love stars on the face. I love that type of get the crowd going because that's the energy that I give when I perform. So it's just like rock and roll could be a whole nother situation. Let me go back to Elvis and think of some stuff.
Bro, because I'm like you in rock and roll. I can see that show blowing the roof off that freaking place.
Yeah.
If there's a roof,
Yeah.
and if there's not a roof, we're gonna put a hole in the sky.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree. So it's a lot that we can play with, but overall I would say that yeah, just be truly authentically you. Give your all and don't worry about what other people got going on. If you're creative, just be creative as much as possible and don't limit yourself. You know you're great at what you do, so be great at what you do and act like it, think like a great person and be that great person. Execute it the best way that you can. But also enjoy the process. Don't limit yourself when not enjoying the process because the process is what makes it beautiful. So just go hard and just be you and put your all
The
into
process
it,
is what gives you the wisdom, huh?
Yeah.
That's what gives you. That's how you learn is the process,
Yeah.
so that you just refine your process each time you go back. And so it's like with anything, it's like okay, if it's our first time doing this, whatever hiccups you run into this time, it's like okay, now we know, now we learn. So then the second time you do it, they're not gonna. Problems are gonna happen. You just don't want to keep having the same problems.
Yeah.
I've learned problems are unavoidable. You know what I'm saying? But having different problems shows that there's progress.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but I agree with you, man. Like just like I think I had to hear that too. Like just as a screenwriter too, like coming up through college. And we had to like there was this exercise that we did in my writing class. God rest my writing teacher, Dr. Shirlene Holmes. Um, GSU legend, by the way. Go look her up. And we had to do an exercise where we had like 30 seconds to write like a pitch for a movie. And she told us to write down these amounts of money on like our pieces of paper. And so we had 30 seconds to pitch a movie to a producer. And she gave us like these $10 million budgets, these $20 million budgets. And so she said, I'm getting y'all trained for having a lot of money, but not a lot of time. And so, but you like going back to what you're saying, like you have to just put it out there and believe in it. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? It was like, think about all the movies that have been made. Like, think
Mhm.
about all the movies that you saw, and it was like, either you might have not liked it at all, but it got a $50 million budget. And there's people who believed enough to put $50 million behind said movie
Mhm.
and this idea. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of communicates to me, why not?
Yeah.
That's the attitude, is why not? Like, whether it's something that, it's for now with voiceover and stuff like that, it could be a little bit I'm a little more selective with that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. Like with voiceovers, it's definitely more about what is the story that we're telling, like what's the spiritual intention behind this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, definitely just being, I think, because being yourself, you can't be nobody else better than
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly. You can't be nobody else better than yourself. You know you, so be the best version of you, your higher self. So, but any closing remarks? We got anything specifically we need to hit on?
So I would just say, for anybody that comes across this first episode of this podcast, man, if you stay with us throughout this whole, first introduction into Zany World, one thing I would like to impart on the listeners is confidence, perseverance, and consistency can get us through many places in life. Um, Marcus Garvey has a quote and says, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. The sentiment is, um, life is full of challenges, but if you have confidence, you've already beaten like half of those challenges. So let's remember that. And let's just remember, like, whether you're an artist or not, or whether you're just like a person in life, um, confidence is key. And, if you have to, fake it till you make it. It's been times where I was like confident and I didn't know what the hell I was doing or what the hell I was talking about. And I was able to kind of make something good out of the situation. So confidence, consistency, and perseverance. Those are my final remarks for the first introductory world episode of the Zantaverse.
Again, guys, just be creative, be focused, give your 100%, be great at what you do, and leave that fear and doubt behind you in the shadows, but accept it, acknowledge it, and move past it. And always keep that inner child there with you at all times. Stay creative and enjoy the process and enjoy being you and be present in the moment. That's so important. I want to emphasize that. Be present in the moment, like you were present for this podcast. Again, this is a conversation, and this is Zantavius. We are tuning out. Thank you, King Rahmil, for being with us today. This is Zantaverse, first episode. Rock out.
Rock out.
Yeah.